Hey there, it is so good to see you here. Today, I have been reading through the latest news, and I know that for many of you, things feel a little bit heavy right now. When you hear about global conflicts, supply shortages, and leaders who seem more concerned with grand gestures than the price of a gallon of gas or a loaf of bread, it is completely normal to feel a sense of unease. I want us to take a deep breath together and remember that our goal here is not to win a race against the market indices, or to predict the next big policy shift. Our goal is to build a life that feels manageable, grounded, and safe for ourselves and our families. It is easy to get caught up in the noise, especially when you see people arguing over whether the economy is good because a stock index hit a record high while you are standing at the grocery store looking at the prices of simple, everyday items and feeling like something is fundamentally off. The truth is that for a huge number of people, the stock market is just a distant scoreboard, and it does not represent the reality of their daily bank accounts. If you are feeling like you are struggling while the headlines tell you that everything is fine, please know that your feelings are valid. Your struggle is real, and it is not a sign of failure on your part. I see a lot of people talking about this idea of short-term pain for long-term gain, and while that might make sense in a boardroom, it is a very different thing when you are the one trying to figure out how to pay for your next fill-up or how to keep the lights on during a volatile summer. There is so much talk about what will happen if this or that happens. But what I want to focus on with you today is what you can actually do to protect your own corner of the world when the world feels like it is spinning a little too fast. The best thing you can do is focus on what is within your reach. First, I want you to give yourself some grace. If you are feeling anxious about money, it is not because you are not smart or because you are not working hard enough. It is because the environment around us is changing in ways that feel out of our control. When we talk about managing our money, it should never be about stressing over every single penny until you lose sleep. It should be about creating a buffer, a little bit of breathing room that allows you to face the day with your head held a bit higher. Think of your savings not as a score in a game, but as a warm, cozy blanket you can wrap around yourself when the weather turns cold. This is what I call gentle management. It means looking at your spending and seeing where you can simplify without feeling deprived. Maybe it is cooking a few more meals at home instead of relying on takeout. Not because you have to, but because it feels good to take care of yourself in that way. It means being honest with yourself about where your money is going. If you are a gig worker, a freelancer, or someone who is feeling the pinch of inflation, you are in the majority, even if the news cycles like to focus on the holders of investment accounts who are currently feeling fine. And if you are one of the people who feel like you have been promised change that never really arrived, it is okay to feel disappointed. It is part of the human experience to hope for something better. And it is also part of the experience to realize that we have to be our own advocates. We live in a time where global events can suddenly make the price of oil or food skyrocket. And that is a frightening thought. But remember that for thousands of years, people have navigated through times of uncertainty by focusing on what they can control. They focused on their skills, they focused on their communities, and they focused on being prepared. I want to encourage you to take a look at your own financial situation with a gentle, non-judgmental eye. What is one small thing you can do this week to feel a little more secure? Maybe it is setting aside a tiny bit of extra cash for an emergency, just in case. Maybe it is learning how to do a simple repair at home so you do not have to pay someone else to do it. These are not big, dramatic actions, but they add up. They build that sense of agency that makes you feel like you are driving your own life, rather than just being a passenger in someone else's storm. I see reports about nations asking their citizens to change their habits, like skipping luxury purchases or being careful with their savings. And while that sounds extreme, there is a lesson in there for all of us. The lesson is that resources are finite, and being mindful of how we use them is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. You do not have to be a billionaire to practice this kind of wisdom. You can be a student, a farmer, a waiter, or a parent. It all comes down to the same thing, which is respecting the value of what you earn and using it to protect your peace. I really want you to avoid getting sucked into the endless scrolling of bad news. It is very easy to spend all day looking at how bad things might get, but that does not help you move forward. If you find yourself feeling that weight in your chest, take a step back, close the browser, put down the phone, and just exist in your own space for a while. Drink a cup of tea, go for a walk, or talk to someone you love. Remind yourself that the world is large and complex, but your life is yours. It is a life worth protecting, it is a life worth nurturing, and it is a life worth living without being constantly haunted by the fear of tomorrow. When we talk about wealth, we often think about the big numbers, but real wealth is the ability to sleep well at night, knowing you have taken care of the things that matter most. It is about having that little bit of cushion so that if the car breaks down or a bill comes in higher than expected, you can handle it without your whole world falling apart. And that is the only kind of financial stability that actually lasts, because the news will change, the leaders will come and go, and the markets will rise and fall, but your resilience is something that stays with you. It grows every time you make a responsible choice, every time you choose to save instead of spend on something you do not need, and every time you choose to educate yourself about how to better handle your own affairs. So please, do not let the noise get to you. You are doing the best you can. And that is enough. You are enough. And your worth is not tied to the stock market or the price of gas or the political state of the world. Your worth is inherent. Take care of your finances, yes, but take care of your heart first, because a calm heart makes for a much better manager of money than a panicked one. We are in this together, and I will be here to walk through these things with you. Let's continue to choose the simple, steady path. One step at a time. You do not need to have all the answers today, and you do not need to have everything perfectly figured out. Just focus on being a little bit more prepared than you were yesterday. And keep that focus on what brings you peace. Sometimes I think about how we tend to look for big solutions, like a sudden windfall or a lucky break, that will solve everything, but life is rarely built on those moments. It is built on the quiet, repetitive, and often invisible choices we make every single day. Think about how you buy your coffee or how you choose to spend your Saturday evening. It feels small, but those choices are the bricks that build the house of your financial future. If you feel like you are just getting by, take a moment to acknowledge how hard you are working. You are doing the heavy lifting of survival in a world that is frankly quite difficult to navigate right now. That is not a failure, that is a testament to your endurance. And when we speak of building a buffer, it is not to hoard wealth, it is to buy yourself the freedom to breathe. To not have to say yes to a job that drains your spirit just because you are worried about the next rent payment. That is the kind of freedom I want for you. It is not about being rich in the way the media tells us to be rich. It is about being secure enough to be yourself. And let us talk about the pressure of the comparisons we make. Seeing others with their cars and their homes and their seemingly perfect lives on social media is a trap. It is a trap that makes you feel like you are falling behind. But their story is not your story. You are walking your own path, and it is a path that deserves patience and kindness. Do not measure your progress by someone else's timeline. It is perfectly fine to move at your own speed. If you can only save a few dollars a month, that is still a victory. It is a victory because it means you are prioritizing your future self. It means you are looking ahead, even if the road is foggy. There is a quiet dignity in managing your affairs with care. There is a quiet strength in refusing to be consumed by the hysteria of the market. Imagine that you are a tree in the middle of a windy field. The wind is the news, the wind is the politics, the wind is the uncertainty of the economy. You cannot stop the wind, and you cannot demand it to stop blowing, but you can deepen your roots. You can make your trunk thicker and stronger so that when the gusts come, you might sway. But you will not break. Deepening your roots in finance means understanding the basics. It means avoiding high-interest debt where you can. It means building that emergency fund slowly and surely. It means recognizing that your greatest asset is your own ability to earn and to learn. Never underestimate how much power you have when you are calm. When you are in a state of panic, you make mistakes. You might buy when you should wait, or you might sell when you should hold. You might ignore the small cracks in your foundation until they become holes. But when you are calm, you see the patterns. You see the opportunities to save. And you see where your money is actually going. I want you to think about the last time you bought something you did not really need just to feel a bit better. We have all done it. It is a way to soothe the anxiety of the moment. But what if instead of buying something, you could find a way to soothe that anxiety for free? Maybe it is by writing down what you are worried about. Maybe it is by taking a long walk. Maybe it is by simply looking at your bank account and realizing that even if things are tight, you are still here, you are still standing. You are the captain of your own little ship, and even in rough waters, you have the ability to steer. Do not let the news tell you that you are helpless. You are never truly helpless as long as you have the discipline to watch your habits. It is like cleaning a room. You do not have to renovate the whole house in one day. You just start with one corner. You organize one shelf. You throw away what you do not need, and you tidy up what is left. Financial health is the same. It is about tidying up your habits, one by one, until the whole picture becomes clearer. Some people might tell you to take big risks to get ahead, but I want to tell you that there is nothing wrong with being steady. Slow growth is still growth, and there is a great beauty in a life that is not lived in a state of high stress. You deserve a life that has room for joy, for rest, and for genuine connection. And you do not need to be a millionaire to have those things. In fact, the most stressed people I know are often the ones who are chasing the biggest numbers. They are the ones who are never satisfied because there is always a bigger target, a higher peak. But you are on a different journey. You are looking for a sense of belonging in your own financial life. You are looking for a home within your own budget. And that is a very healthy thing. There will always be people who tell you that you are not doing enough. There will always be media outlets that want you to be afraid. But you get to choose what you listen to. You get to choose what you allow into your mind. You are in control of your inner world, even when the outer world is chaotic. So keep your head up. Continue to educate yourself, continue to be kind to yourself, and continue to trust that. As long as you are taking these small, careful steps, you are moving in the right direction. I am really grateful that you chose to spend this time with me today. It is a reminder that we are all looking for the same things. We are looking for a little bit of stability in a world that feels very unstable. We are looking for a little bit of comfort, and we are looking for the knowledge that no matter what happens, we are going to be okay. We have the tools, we have the resilience, and we have the capacity to learn. Let us commit to being the kind of people who treat our money with the respect it deserves, not as a way to define ourselves, but as a way to support the lives we want to build. Remember that your value is not in your balance. Your value is in your character, your compassion, and your courage. So take a deep breath, let go of the tension in your shoulders, and know that you are doing just fine. I will be right here, waiting to chat again whenever you need a moment to just sit, talk, and find some clarity. It is not about being perfect, it is about being present. It is not about having all the answers. It is about having the willingness to keep looking. You are a person of worth. And your financial life is just one part of a much larger, much more beautiful picture. So keep going, keep building, and keep finding your own. I am proud of you for showing up for yourself and for taking the time to think about your future in such a thoughtful, quiet way. Let's make a promise to keep our feet on the ground and our eyes on what truly matters, which is the quality of our daily lives and the strength of our own minds. I hope you have a really peaceful evening, and I will be waiting for you right here next time. Take care of yourself, and please keep your chin up as we look at the world. It feels like everything is moving in such a frantic pace. Everybody seems to be looking for the shortcut to wealth or the secret trick to beat the system. But here is the thing. The real secret is consistency. It is doing the boring, simple things over and over again, like saving a little bit from every paycheck, like paying off the debt that is eating away at your future, like living just a little bit below your means so that you always have a cushion. It sounds simple and maybe even a bit dull. But that is exactly why it works. It is not meant to be exciting. It is meant to be reliable. When you have a system that is reliable, you do not have to worry as much because you know that no matter what the news says, you have your foundation. And that foundation is your best friend when the market is crashing or when the prices are going up. So let us talk about those of you who might be feeling a bit lost. Maybe you have never really sat down to look at your numbers. That is okay. We all start somewhere. You can start today. You can take a piece of paper and write down what you earn and what you spend. It does not have to be a complex spreadsheet. It can just be a list. Seeing it on paper helps you understand where you are. And once you understand where you are, you can decide where you want to go. Do not be afraid of the numbers. They are just tools. They are not good or bad. They are just information. And information is the first step toward change. When you see where the money is going, you might be surprised. You might find that you are spending on things that do not actually bring you joy. And that is an easy fix. You just stop spending on those things and you redirect that energy toward what actually matters to you. Maybe it is your hobby. Maybe it is a course you want to take. Maybe it is just that peace of mind I keep talking about. Whatever it is yours to decide. The beauty of your life is that it is yours to design. You are the architect of your own happiness. And financial management is just one of the tools you use to build that house. It is like picking the right colors for the wall, or deciding which furniture to keep. You choose what is essential, you choose what is beautiful, and you choose what brings you peace. I know it can feel lonely sometimes, especially when it seems like everyone else is doing something different. But remember that we are all on our own unique paths. The grass is not always greener on the other side. It is just a different shade of green, and your life is your own, and that is a beautiful thing. So do not get caught up in the comparison game. It is a game that nobody wins. You are doing great. You are learning, you are growing, and you are taking the steps that you need to take. And that is exactly what you should be doing. It is so easy to let the anxiety of the future prevent you from enjoying the present. But the future is just a collection of present moments. If you can make your present moments more peaceful, more organized, and more intentional, then your future will take care of itself. Take joy in the small things. The coffee you make at home that tastes just as good as the one from the shop. The walk you take in the morning that clears your mind. The book you read before you go to sleep. These are the moments that make up a good life. And they are all free. They are all within your reach. And they are all a part of being a wise manager of your own resources. So let us keep this focus. Let us keep this steady, gentle path. I am so glad that we are in this together, and I want you to know that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. You have the intelligence, you have the heart, and you have the strength. Keep showing up for yourself, keep asking the right questions, and keep building that life of peace and stability. One step at a time, you are doing a wonderful job, and I am so happy to be on this journey with you. We will talk again, we will learn more, and we will continue to find our way. It is all part of the beautiful process of growing into the person we are meant to be. So take a deep breath, remember to smile, and know that you are going to be just fine. You have everything you need within you, and that is the most important thing of all. The world is a noisy place, but you have the power to create your own quiet, you have the power to protect your own peace, and you have the power to build a future that is truly yours. So keep going, keep dreaming, and keep being the amazing person you are. The world needs your light. It needs your kindness, and it needs your steady, calm presence. So thank you for being you, and thank you for being a part of this conversation. I look forward to our next talk. Until then, keep your head high and your heart light. You are going to do great things, even if those things are just the small, quiet, daily choices that make up a life well lived. That is enough, and you are enough. Everything is going to be all right. Just stay true to your path and keep walking. It is a beautiful day, a beautiful life, and you are exactly where you need to be. Take care of yourself. Always remember, you are the most valuable asset you have. So invest in your peace, your growth, and your happiness. That is the best investment you will ever make. Take care. And I will see you next time.